What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Hunt Ready. This is J-Dub. Gonna go over my mobile hunting setup that I used this year. I've set it up, tore it down a billion different times, so I think I've got the system figured out, pretty much dialed in for what I'll be using from now on. Of course, always going to try some new things, but I've figured out what I'm liking and what I'm not liking. Like I said, I've only been doing this mobile hunting deal for a few years now, so still learning, and there's always new products coming out that look like it's going to make that style of hunting a little bit better. But for right now, I'm currently pretty much dead set on the Lone Wolf Custom Gear .5. It's hanging up right here. I have the 7.5. I used them both this season, but I really found myself going more for that .5. It's just a sweet stand, guys. And if you're going to do this hybrid style where you're using a saddle with your stand, the .5 is, I mean, it's just ideal. I don't think it could get any better than that setup right there. The hybrid style with the .5 and a kind of a minimal style saddle setup. So I'll go through what I ended up using and how I carried everything, and the setup. You'll see I traded the single steps for the Beast Gear steps. I like the doubles. I'll go through what I didn't like about the singles, and I probably am going to try the Lone Wolf Custom Gear doubles just to see how they'll stack on that .5, if it'll stack any better. I don't mind running them how they are on the seat now, but just like to see how the Custom Gear how the Custom Gear steps stack on that stand. So that'll be one of the things I'm probably going to try next year. But right now we'll go through the setup. We'll just start here. Bino harness. You guys that have followed me for a while, excuse me, know that I really love a Bino harness. The more I get into this mobile hunting game, the more I do not like a Bino harness for this style of hunting, because it's just in the way when you're setting up and tearing down. Yeah, you could take it off when you're setting up and when you're tearing down, but the last thing I want to be doing is fumbling, putting on a Bino harness in the tree or taking it off in the tree. So I'm probably going to be ditching the Bino harness next year, strictly for mobile hunting. If I'm going out west, or if I'm going to a blind or a preset stand, probably will have that Bino harness. I really, really like having the binos right there, and just super handy. I don't know if I'm loving this AGC harness. Some of the things that I don't like about it, it always seems like it wants to just tip on me. I don't know if it's the new harness or what. My old one there, the KISS model, never had that issue. It just, I don't know, it feels tippy. I don't really, really love it. I like having that pocket on the front. But another thing, these buckles that are on here are noisy. They're squeaking. They make a ton of noise. When you're sitting there and it's dark and you're waiting for the sunrise or whatever, or it's super, super quiet, you guys know any kind of noise will get a deer's attention. And these buckles are garbage, in my opinion. They're nice that they're the auto lock style, but that's kind of an easy fix. I mean, I don't want to have to put different buckles on it. I put different buckles on that the KISS model. That was before these AGC harnesses came with auto lock buckles. I put auto locks from Kafaru on there, which I could do on here. I think that these are just noisy because they've got these quick disconnect buckles that come off on here. I think that's what's making the noise. I don't really know, but whatever buckles they're using on these AGC harnesses are junk. I don't like them. So that's the Bino harness. We'll see. Like I said, for mobile hunting, it's just in the way. Setting up your tree stand, it's just, you can't see down. It's just in the way. Setting up, everything's there. My last sit was just a few days ago, and the cablators kept getting caught on it. I'm telling you what, I'm about done with the Bino harness for that style of hunt. But either way, I think I'm gonna explore a different option on a Bino harness. I'm not. I like that KISS model better than this one, to be honest with you. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that one yet. But the harness that I wore this year, this is from TX5 Custom Gear. This is their Minimalist, and it's the 2.0 model, their newer model. So it's got those little bungee straps, little bungees on here that it folds up out of the way so that it's not like in saddle mode, I guess. And then you can pop it down and it gets like that. Now this is the small version that on their website at least says that's what you should use if you're going for like a hybrid style harness where I deployed it like that just to try it out to see how it was, but 99% of the time, oh, I just see a little flaw on here. I'll show you that here in a second. And it's not a major thing, but 99% of the time I had this in the stowed. I just wore it like that. Even when I would turn around and lean back into it, I never purposely deployed these. Like I said, I did just kind of messing around. And if you wanted to have like some kind of a pad, like on the back side of your seat that you could put your knees on, this was pretty comfortable to sit like that in. I'm sure I've never used a full-blown, full-size saddle, so I can't compare it to anything, but this definitely was comfortable. I liked this style of harness 1,000 times better than your standard 5-point harness that your tether comes up. It goes on a lot simpler. There is a learning curve on the leg strap. Just getting that right the first time without monkeying around with it. So there's a little bit of a learning curve on running that leg strap. But once you get that figured out, you're pretty much good to go. This is the leg strap. It comes around through this front loop and then goes down. I think they call that the belay loop. It goes through that and around your legs. So there's a little bit of a learning curve on that. So if it's like gun belts, which this one seemed to give a little bit over time, you should just be able to kind of set this Cobra buckle and not have to tighten it up. But it seemed like every few hunts I would have to tighten that up a little bit. So a little bit of adjustment needed on this Cobra buckle just to keep it tight. But really love this style harness. The linesman loops are plenty big to easily get your carabiners through these on here to go up to use your linesman's belt. So I'd heard the previous model, they were too small and guys didn't like that. The harness itself is, super comfortable. No issues there. And I would put the whole thing on, leg straps, everything. They say when I would hike in, you don't have to put the leg straps on when you hike in. So I did, just found it easier to get everything set at the truck than trying to do that at the tree, especially with that stupid Bino harness on. You can't see down. That was another of my big complaints was, I had to put this on before the Bino harness, otherwise you couldn't see down over that stupid Bino harness. So things that you run into, like I said, I would have never badmouthed the Bino harness before, but for mobile hunting, I think I'm done with them. And then this is your bridge that I would just use this on my, probably not the best way to do it, but I only used one rope. This was my linesman belt and my tether. So yes, at some point when I was up there, I took my tether off so I wasn't always connected to a tree, but I hunt pretty low. So it's not a huge deal. I would say most of the time I'm 12 foot or under. But this is what I use for the linesman's belt. This is just, I bought I think it was like 30 foot of this rope off of Amazon and made my own. It's still too long from last year. I still never cut it down. So probably should do that this year. But and then also still this Wild Country Rope Man 1 for the Ascender. Still love that. That thing works great. I've seen some different things for keeping your tether tight against a tree. But I would usually have my tether about just a little bit over belly button high, and then I would run my Ascender all the way up to it, and then I would keep everything kind of tight on the tree like so, and then clip into my bridge here. That's how I ran that. So that's all I got on that. Could probably find a little smaller, lighter carabiners, but I do like locking carabiners. So you can see there's like a knurled knob that you can screw up, and that keeps your carabiner from being able to open. Both of these have that. I would definitely recommend that, especially for this style of hunting, because there was several times when this could come open, on the tree. So that's what I use there for my harness. Here's what I just seen, literally just right now while we were kind of going over this. And I'm just out here just kind of putting everything away for the season. My season's in Illinois here is done. I won't be going. I got till tomorrow, but it's like going to be negative 30 tomorrow, and we're right now getting hammered again with snow. So just kind of putting everything up. But so this is like a little spot where you can hook steps onto or whatever you want to do, but that stitching's coming out right there. That's supposed to be stitched over onto that. So I'll probably get a hold of them. I don't know. It's not, like I said, not a huge deal. I never even used these. So for never to even use them and that stitching's coming out, it's kind of odd. But the other side is stitched in there really, really nice. That one's still tight. But yeah, so that's kind of a bummer there. It doesn't even look like that stitch even went through. But other than that, and that's nothing that's like would compromise the integrity of that harness. That's basically just a accessory loop for, like I said, hooking steps into or whatnot. But I use B-skier sticks and there's no hooks on those. Kind of one of my complaints on B-skier sticks, but that's for a little bit later here. What I was going to say though, if TX5 ever comes out with a Minimalist that is basically doesn't have the saddle actually sewn into it, I'd be all over that. If it was just that wide, I think that would be, for me, that would be great. I don't know if that would be a big drawing for everybody or not. Like I said, I never I never deployed this as a saddle, but you can see that's pretty good sized for that saddle. And then another thing that's cool about TX5, when you order these, you pick all the colors, everything from the stitching color, everything. So you know, you can make it custom however you like it. Now packs. So late winter here, I've been using the Kifaru Urban Ruck. This is a great late season pack. It's big enough that it can hold, you know, it's still got the Arctic Shield booties in here, my guide coat from Kuiu. It's got the camera arm in here, the head. I've got a GoPro in here still. Kill kit's down in the bottom. It really holds everything really, really good. I put these straps. These are actually straps from the Backwoods Mobile Gear Hitchhiker that I used on the stand there to snap in, because the pack actually sits higher than the hook on the seat post of the stand, so it doesn't, you know, you can't hook this into there and then it rides. This sits up over the tree bracket even. So I use these. Would have been nicer if I had something to hook into up here, a little bit higher, but it worked out fine. This pack is just, it's an excellent pack for that. You know, it's easy to just jam everything down in there, and you don't have to have a zipper for your main pouch, which is awesome. Really, whitetail hunting. There ain't, the only thing louder than a zipper is Velcro. So not having to have a zipper there is really good. Like I said, the camera arm, I used that for filming hunts this year. That worked out really good. The setup, I don't think I've went through this setup really at all. So just your standard custom Lone Wolf Custom Gear camera arm. This is what is this head? Just a cheap head from Amazon. I can't remember what this fluid head was called now. The one thing about the fluid head, when it was cold, even right now, it's not super cold in the shop, but that fluid head would get really, really stiff when it was cold. So the up and down was almost like it was locked. Small rig fluid head, that's it. And I cut down this arm a little bit so that it would fit under here when you packed it in. But I zip tied the strap onto here. And so if you zip tie it kind of loose, you still have enough that you can flip it around depending on which side of the tree you want to put it on. But I never had any issues with this camera arm. Folds down super, super nice. It's super lightweight. It's really easy to put on. Strap it on the tree, tighten it up, and you're good to go. Finding out which side I wanted to run it on was probably the hardest thing. I seem to really kind of like to put it on my left side, which seems kind of bass-ackwards, but the left side for me seemed like that worked out. And then this is a Ulanzi phone adapter. It's all metal, really solid phone adapter. I didn't want to take any chances of losing my phone, so I wanted a metal one and not a plastic kind of junker. So that just kind of goes like that, and you snap your phone in, and it's even got a lock on there. So the head and the phone adapter, I mean, was pretty cheap, but worked out good. I may go with a non-fluid head on this. We'll see. It wasn't unusable, but it was pretty tight when it got cold. But it folds in there pretty slick. And then there's a sleeve in there that I use to put it in. Now this pack is for more late season. I don't use this pack all year because it's just too big when you're not having clothes with you. So this Backwoods Mobile Gear Hitchhiker is what I use summertime. It worked out, but I think I'm going to end up going with probably the Lone Wolf Custom Gears new little tiny pack. It just looks like it's got a little better organization in there. The one thing I didn't love about this is it's just basically two big pockets. And then they've got the molly on here, but the molly's basically useless because it's too small. The side pockets here are basically useless. They're too small. If they would have ran them up and maybe made them a little more flexible or stretchy, you could actually get like a water bottle in there. You can't even get a water bottle in them. And then this is one thing that I've seen a lot of guys complain about. The zippers on this thing were just noisy as all get out. They all had them pull tabs, the zipper tabs, and they were just banging around and making a ton of noise. So I cut those off and just put paracord pulls on there. That ain't a big deal, but like I said, I use this all summer, or all summer, all fall until, you know, when I was packing clothes in. It's got like a kind of a stretchy pocket down here, almost like a water bladder pocket, a tiny one, and then there's a sewn in zipper pocket up here. But I don't know. Like I said, I didn't love this pack. It works, it's small, it hangs on the stand really good. I mean, it fits on these like just perfectly. And then these hooks were actually for this pack. And I'll show you what I did, which worked significantly better than those hooks, or than the buckles. So you'll see here on these tabs, I put bungee on there. So I would just hang this on the hook on the seat post like that. And then these bungees on the Custom Gear stands, you see they've got like tie off points. So I would just take that bungee, hook it there, take this bungee. Where'd it go? There it is. Do the same thing on that side. And hook it there like that. And that's how I carried that in. That just works out really, really good. One thing I don't like doing is having any kind of fiddle factor in anything. Bungees work really good. There's no buckles. There's no snaps. Like J hooks and stuff for putting your sticks on. I don't want to be doing that when it's not so bad when it's warm out, but you guys know when it gets cold, you're trying to tear down and your fingers are freezing. The last thing I want to be doing is fiddling around with anything if you're wearing gloves or it's dark. So the easier you can make your setup, the better. Some of the things that you think might be easy sitting in the shop playing with everything, you'll find real quick in the woods, it may not be as easy as what you thought. So the bungees hooking on there, slick. Like I said, all in all, it's a good pack. I think from what I've seen of the new Lone Wolf Custom Gear, I think they call it the half pack. It just looks like it's a better laid out pack for what I want to use it for. Even carrying just this little bit of filming equipment, basically the camera arm, the phone adapter, and that GoPro, it takes significant amount of room, especially if you're trying to use a small pack. And I hate having a huge pack with too little of stuff in there. I'd rather have a smaller pack that's packed full, if that makes any sense. But so that's enough on the packs there. let's jump into the tree stand. So this is the Lone Wolf Custom Gear 0.5. I just picked this up this summer, and last year when I bought the 0.75, I thought the 0.5 was it was too small. After using it, I picked it up this year because I just basically wanted to give it a try, and I was going to have an extra stand for the kids to use. After using this stand, for the first like 10 times, I fell in love with this stand. This stand is phenomenal. It is absolutely the perfect size. I didn't think that I would like it or use it as much as I did. I found myself always gravitating to grabbing this stand with me instead of that 0.75. Now the 0.75 is the same width. It's just a little bit longer. But the 0.5, in my opinion, feels bigger. I'll show you what I mean by that here in a little bit. So the 0.5 is just, it's super light. It's amazingly easy to put into a tree. The 0.75 was like a night and day difference for me from hanging stands. And then this 0.5 is not as big a jump from the 0.75 as it was from the metal stands to that 0.75, but it is significantly easier to put into a tree, and it'll go in just about any tree you can think of. That short little narrow stand, I mean, I had no problems putting this in any kinds of trees, and just a really, really nice stand. On this one, I did use the extended bow holder. That seemed to help kind of keep your bow out a little ways, to feel like you weren't so cramped in there. But other than that, and this is the standard size post and standard seat. I might bump it up to the 0.75 seat next year, just to kind of play with it. But I didn't find myself feeling like I needed it, but just kind of play around with it. I might put the next size bigger seat on it. I definitely am not going to get a bigger seat post. That 18-inch post, like I said, I'm 5'8" or so. This 18-inch post is just perfect. And then you'll see I got the 20-inch mini Beast Gear sticks here. This is how I carried them on the seat. And let's see. Oh, I got just a Kafaru belt pouch on the bottom of the seat. Now, the Beast Gear sticks, you see I've got these daisy chains on here. I don't remember now what company these daisy chains are from. Tethered, maybe? Anyway, I got daisy chains on these Beast Gear sticks. So the only thing that I've got in the seat pouch is the strap for the tree stand, and that's where I keep that. That's the only thing that's in there. So that's always in there. When you get up to the stand, I use my linesman's belt to help me hang the stand. We'll get into that here. Let me show you. So a lot of guys I always see asking about, oh, how do you put your sticks on your stand, especially Beast Gear sticks on Lone Wolf stands. And I've seen a lot of different options. This was just the easiest. I mean, you got this big seat platform. They're pretty much flat sticks. I mean, why not just lay them on your seat? It takes up an inch of room, so your pack still has plenty of room to hang on here. I don't see why. Some guys like stack them out this way or do all kinds of weird things with them. Just lay them on the seat. And then I've went around and I've done the bungee cord around them. You end up losing them, leaving them at the tree. Same thing, bungee cords when it's cold and you're trying to hook around like that, it can be a little bit of a pain. So again, here I just used some bungee material that is permanently attached to my seat, on the seat. So I just got it basically tied on the front of the seat here. and then I just tied a loop in it. And on the back of the seat, there's 2 hooks. I'm not sure exactly what they're for. I think they might be for their seat pouches or whatever that they make, but there's 2 hooks on the back of that seat. And I just crisscross these. I hook this one into that one, and this one comes over and hooks into this one. Never had a problem with these sticks coming off. They're not like ratcheted down super tight or anything, but never had a problem with them. So that's the, they're just tied onto the front of here and they just hang. You know, if you didn't want them hanging, you could put them over, but so that's these hooks that I'm talking about right there. And so I just go across, catch that one, boom, come across, catch that one, boom, and your sticks are on. Man, don't get no easier than that. And then, like I said, this seat was plenty big, plenty comfortable. I mean, you can't even feel that seat through this foam material that they use for the seats. Their seat cushions are awesome. It's got the same adjustability. If you guys aren't familiar with the Lone Wolf custom stands, go check them out. But so you can adjust this for leveling your platform. Then on a seat here, there's a bolt back here that you can run in and out when your seat's flipped over. And you can level your seat with this bolt right here, in and out, boom. Level your seat, level your base. You're good to go. What I was saying about hanging these with my linesman's belt. So it works really, really good. This was something I learned at one of the road shows. I just got to find my linesman's belt right there. So this would be around your waist. I'm not going to clip it in or anything, but this would be around your waist like this. So you'd be standing up on your step, and then I run my seat, you know, I bring my seat up through here into the tree, and then I just use my belt, or my linesman's belt, boom, hook that in, and that's pressed up against the tree. Now you can let go of your stand. You know, your stand is pressed up into that tree with your linesman's belt now. Then you can unzip this, run your strap around, and level out your platform, all that. Tow hook it in so it's nice and tight. And you can do all that with basically hands free while you're using your belt. But I put that's another thing that I prefer these older style backpack straps from Lone Wolf versus their new ones. So I put the old ones on this 0.5 because I ended up wearing this the most. Originally I had them on that 7.5 just because I thought I would carry more weight with that one. I like these old style straps better than the new ones. So a lot of guys ask me, do you like the 0.5 or the 0.75? Which do you recommend? If you're gonna stand more, the 0.75 maybe, but like I said, I'll show you why I think the 0.5 to me feels roomier, and I'll show you why. But when you're sitting on the 0.5, your toes are sticking out of the platform. Some guys don't like that. It doesn't really matter if you're sitting, how big the platform is, in my opinion. But like I said, I'll show you why I think that feels better. So let's go to the sticks here. So yeah, about mid-season, I started taking these Beast Gear sticks versus the single steps from Lone Wolf. Now the single steps, you know, they definitely integrate better with the stand. That's like they're not even there. But the double steps and these B sticks, they bite the tree like nobody's business. I like the double step for being able to put 2 feet easily. I can get 2 feet on them single steps, but you know, the colder it gets, the wetter it gets, or if there's snow, it's really kind of sketchy getting just 2 feet on one step. I didn't love it. So I started carrying these. So the B skiers, I just hold all 3 of them together with a bungee like that. So the B skiers here, they have a Lone Wolf Custom Gear 20-inch cabelators on them. And I like the Lone Wolf cabelators versus anybody else's because they've got this angle that kicks your cabelators out. Instead of hanging just straight down, they kind of kick that cable out a little bit better. It's easier for you to find that, especially in the dark coming down. Going up, not a big deal. Coming down, having that cable kicked out is very beneficial in my opinion. I just drilled this bolt out right there. I drilled that bolt out and put the bigger bolts that come with these Lone Wolf Custom Gear cabelators. So it's got a bigger bolt in there, and then they just go around and they swing it down. And so you can kind of see how that kicks that cabelator out, and where it lays, it's about even with that. Just like I said, makes it a lot easier to find coming down. And then those daisy chains. Love these daisy chains. That's another one. So these wrap around this stick, so they're always on your stick. That's the thing that I hate about the custom gear sticks. You can't keep your strap with your sticks. They won't stack if you have them with them. Now I haven't tried putting a daisy chain on them. I was going to do that probably today while I'm out here messing around, but during season I never messed around. I have one extra daisy chain. I kind of just gave up on them and used these B-Skier sticks. But the daisy chains, this was the first year using these daisy chains. That's money. The only thing that could be better, or I have not used them, I'm going to, especially if I get the custom gear doubles, are USA Pros from the Amsteel guy, where you can actually, they've got the loop you can tighten up on the strap. Instead of trying to find, if you guys aren't familiar with a daisy chain, instead of trying to find a slot that fits, and it never fails, it's never perfect when you go around. So you run these around the tree and they come around, and in this daisy chain, they've got gaps in them every, just like so. So you run it around the tree, and then it's supposed to just, you find your hook, you find whichever one fits that tree, it hooks in there like that, and then you, boom, tight. Usually it never, hardly ever works out where that's perfect. So, and I don't know if this is right or not or wrong. A lot of times what I would do is come around the tree, loop it, come back around the tree, and then hook it. And if it's a little bit loose, the two of them will make that up and sit super, super tight. I never had any issues with these. That was always rock solid. But these B-Skier, these antler brackets, they call them on the bottom, they bite a tree. I mean, crazy good. I don't love stacking them. They're kind of a pain to stack, especially with aiders. You got to kind of kick the one off to the side there. And only my 2 sticks have aiders. The third one doesn't have an aider. It would be even worse if you had 3 with aiders. So I don't love how they stack, but they do stack pretty easy. So having your attachment method attached to your sticks just makes it a lot more simple. You don't have to have a pocket full of straps, and just having them here, they're there. You're not forgetting them. They're just right there. And so I would set the first stick, and then, I mean, these daisy chains are super long. I could either like flip them up over a branch, or a lot of times I would just stick these in through my hand like this and climb up and then pull up the one that I wanted. The other one I would kind of hook on the bottom step here and just have it there waiting for me. But 3 sticks is all I use. A lot of guys, carry 4 or 5, whatever, and whatever you want to do, but I'm never more than 3 sticks high. And then that's just how that, just boom, and you're done. It's stored, stack them together, pack them up, off you go. Packing up and getting out of there is another thing. I hate sitting at the bottom of the tree forever, packing all your crap up. So the quicker everything's ready to go, the easier everything's ready to go, is just better. So if you just, the old saying, you know, keep it simple, stupid. The simpler it is, the faster it is. Don't get no simpler and faster than these beast gear sticks with daisy chains. Super, super fast. So this is the 7.5. And it's got these, so it's got the standard bow holder. I've said that before. If you're running, these are meant to fit on any stand, but these bow holders from Lone Wolf Custom Gear, they're phenomenal. You can't get a better bow holder. They're lightweight. They stack into the custom gear stands and you don't even know they're there. Some of these bow holders I've seen just look like a janky piece of crap bolted onto a stand. These things, same material your stands are made out of. They kick open like that. They're phenomenal. They're perfect. There's nothing I would change about it. I like the standard one better than the extended, just because it's more compact. But the extended one on the 0.5, getting it out there a little bit further is probably beneficial. But I don't know. I guess I like the looks of the standard one better. Maybe, I don't know. But that's the standard one. So I've already done a video on the 0.75. I'm not going to cover that. These are the new updated backpack straps on here. I personally don't like them as much as the standard ones. It's not a huge deal, but to me, these are more comfortable. Now, if you were actually carrying a bunch of weight out, these may be beneficial, but they've got load lifters on here, which I don't have a belt, you know, a pack strap or a belt strap on these. Without a belt, the load lifters aren't really doing anything. So it just kind of sits funny on the stand maybe. And then you've got extra straps that are hanging. I don't like a bunch of stuff hanging from your stand while you're sitting in the tree, which is why I don't have any belts on my stands. So that's that. Yeah, the new updated straps, whatever. I like the standard ones better, the old ones better. This is how I stacked these singles, and I stacked these the same way on the 0.5. I didn't use J hooks. They just kind of hooked in there, and they've got these little rubber alignment tabs in here that snap into your platform. But I just used the strap that you use to hang the stand, and then the straps that I hang stands with, or that I hang the stand with, I've got hockey tape on the buckles just to keep them quiet. So that's how I know if that's my stand strap. And that's just how I kind of stowed that mess up. You know, I just kind of make a deal like that and then wrap it and stick it down into here. But this holds the sticks pretty good. I never had any of them fall out. But the J hooks would definitely be more secure, but this is just how I did it. So we'll lay this down. The singles, like I said, they've got that little rubber dowel that they snap together. That's how they stack together, like so. I've got some O-rings on here to keep them, the standoffs from banging together. But the biggest thing that I didn't like about these, they bite the tree, they're good, they're lightweight, but not being able to keep your strap attached to the stick, kind of a pain. And then I really just prefer 2 steps. I thought at first that these were going to be great. And I can get, you can get 2 feet on here just because that standoff is pretty deep. So you can kind of catch it with 2 feet. Relatively easy if you got smaller feet. I don't know if you bigger feet, if that would work as well, but they bite the tree really good. Has nothing to do with how well they bite the tree. Really, my biggest thing was not being able to have your straps stay with the stick. So then you've got to have them, in your pockets, in this pocket here. It's just the fiddle factor. Like I said, it's the KISS method, right? Well, it ain't much simpler than having your attachment method right on the stick. Now, like I said, those USA Pros, you might be able to get away with it, but the way the sticks stack together, they got to be able to be super close to each other. And I don't know of another way to run the cable or the straps without interfering, with how they stack together like that. Like, you'd almost have to go this way on this one and on the opposite side on that one, but then it ain't going to stick. And these rubber tabs, I would almost like to see a longer one for the one that goes into the stand itself, like another 1/2 inch longer than that one. Only for the one that goes into the stand, just to give it a little bit more bite material, So that's that. Like I said, I ended up running that 0.5. I tried to swap between the two at first, and then eventually it was just, I always had the 0.5 with me. And the first, I'd say 20 sits, I used the singles. And then I think it was one time after I took that 7.5 onto some public ground, I had the B-skier sticks, and I'm like, I'm taking the B-skier sticks with me all the time. So singles are nice just because of how they stack together, but I prefer doubles, and I prefer those B-skiers right now until I try the custom gear ones. But that's about it, guys. Oh, I know. Show you why I think the 0.5 feels bigger. So let's see if I can show you here. I'm going to pause this and we'll get right back and get this set up. All right, guys, I've got the stands here right next to each other. They're both up against this jump box, all the way up tight. So you can see this is the 0.5 here on the left, 0.75 on the right. You can see how much bigger that platform is on the 0.75. Now, the reason that I think that it feels bigger, especially if you're standing, is you can see. So when I stand, I like to be as close to the tree as possible while I'm standing. Either if I'm standing in it with a standard harness with my back against the tree, or if I'm standing in it with the hybrid harness looking back like this, I like to be up close to the tree. I don't want to be sitting way back here where this platform's bigger. So if you're standing in that way, the widest part of your 0.5 is closer to the tree versus if you're standing here on the 0.75. So if you guys see kind of what I'm saying there, the cables are wider on the platform on the 0.5 where you would be standing closest to the tree. So that is one of the things that I noticed immediately swapping between the two while hunting, and why I prefer the 0.5 versus the 0.75. So that is that. So you can see that when I'm standing here, I got plenty of room versus when you're in here, the cables, and this would be, you know, these cables would be tighter. So that's a little bit more deceiving, but your feet are in here and you don't have that much room. You do, it's plenty of room, but having the option between the two stands, I picked that 0.5 more times than not. So, that is that. And then you can see kind of the seat post, the seat on this one I got all the straps in there so it wants to fold down, but the seat is a little bit taller. It kind of clears that jump, that box jump, and then the 0.5 is about level with that box jump, and this is a little bit higher on the 0.75 for them posts. But yeah, so that is that's my theory on the 0.5 feeling bigger. And then, like I said, that was for hybrid hunting. A lot of times this is how I was. I would go back and forth between sitting backwards. You could spin around and sit on it like a normal stand. You really were not limited on any shot angle because you can, you know, have your back to the tree or face the tree. You don't really have a strong side and a weak side. So it was really nice to be able to hunt that way. And probably a huge upgrade to my hunting style. This mobile hunting, to be able to use this hybrid style of mobile hunting where you have your hybrid between the stand and a saddle. So, all right, guys. So that is basically it for this hybrid style mobile hunting that I did this year, and the gear that I used, and then some of the things I may be changing and trying out differently for next year. But appreciate you guys all for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.